everybody. Welcome back to Liverpool Latest. I'm your host, Matt, and I'm hoping you're having a better day than the absolute abysmal game we watched just a handful of days ago. Only amplified by the fact that Arsenal once again has a dominating victory over Tottenham 4-1, further adding to their points range, making it impossible for any team to catch up to them at this point in time. My thoughts on that? Well, what do I think of when I think of Tottenham Spurs? Shit. And what do I think of when I think of shit? Tottenham. If you know, you know. Anyway, it's safe to say Liverpool are in a full crisis mode, okay? I want to put out a stat there that I read on Twitter, which I was disgusted by, I'll be honest with you. Liverpool have given up over 20 goals over the course of the season so far. Key phrase there. So, for every game that we have played this season, the opponents would have scored at least 2 goals against us. Every match. That's insane. That's borderline insanity and unfathomable that sentence can even be said. This is a defending championship team. And this is the best they have to offer us. Okay? Here's another stat for you that I found. They suffered back-to-back 3 or more goal losses. Okay? One against City and one against Nottingham Forest, as we well know. They haven't suffered a statistic like that since 1965. I don't know what to say. I'm dumbfounded. I think there's another stat up there that goes back 120 something years. I didn't see it fully, but I read that and I almost puked. I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? Okay? This team sucks. The tactical discipline or lack thereof is just completely killing this team. Okay? We have conceded 9 goals from set pieces already in the season. And that's another thing that's been killing us. I mean, tactics have been trash. Players haven't been playing up to what we think that they should. I mean, you think when you spend $500 million almost, you'd get a quality team. Unfortunately, none of them can either stay healthy or perform the way that they should. I mean, Isak, I love Isak, but this has been, his run at Liverpool so far has been piss poor, to say the least. It's astounding how he even stayed on the field for 68 minutes, okay? I don't think I saw him touch the ball more than 5 times on that match, okay? I'm being dead ass honest with you. I don't think I saw him touch the ball 5 times. But Wirtz was injured, which I didn't know he was hurt. I know Bradley was hurt, but I didn't think that he had suffered a similar fate. And currently has, well, no goals, I don't think, at all. I don't even think he's had any assists in the league at all, according to a couple of sources I've read. So I just don't know what to say at this point. I mean, the only players I saw yesterday that put out any sort of effort was Szoboszlai, Salah, and McAllister. That's it. Those are the only 3 players I saw actually put any effort into what they were doing. Everybody else was kind of just there. So it begs the question, Slot's position's only becoming more and more fragile at this point. Should we sack him? I'm of the opinion that we should at this point in time. I may flip-flop on that, but right now I'm on a pretty dead center, like dead on, bullseye, sack this man. Get him off my team. That said, Jamie Redknapp, he has a message for us Liverpool fans, and he urges us to stay patient and ignore the calls to sack Arne Slot. Or in this case, he's urging Liverpool as an organization to ignore those calls. I mean, let's be honest, guys. We all expected in some way, shape, or form to have some downturn when Klopp left us, okay? But we didn't expect that to happen the first year of Arne Slot being in charge, where, well, lo and behold, we won the league. So we won the league, okay? And now we're having that problem of growing pains. And that does not make any sense to me. I have not seen this ever in my life. I've seen teams have really great seasons and then collapse and fire their head coaches, but I've never seen a team win a championship and fire their head coach. Not in my lifetime, or not that I know of, unfortunately. Okay? At least not in recent memory. So it's rough. It's rough to see this. I think, as a fan perspective, the only thing you can think of is firing Slot, because, let's be honest, players haven't been playing well at all, but at the same time, tactics aren't helping us either, and where do tactics start? With the manager, and that's Arne Slot. And Redknapp says that this current slump is the natural delayed effect of such a massive managerial transition. Then why did we win the league last year? Okay? What? Explain to me, sir, how you can go on and say, oh, there's this growing pains, when we already are a defending championship team from a guy who took control of this team, granted with Klopp's people, granted, and won the league. Now we have possibly, at least on paper, an even better team than we have from a name perspective, but for some reason we just can't put it together. Now, obviously, there's a lot of factors behind this, like poorly recruiting players, and just spending a shit ton of money after we win a championship in hopes of retaining that championship, which obviously is probably definitely not going to happen at this point. So, I mean, for Christ's sake, we're the bottom half of the table. This is like astronomically bad for our standards as fans. Okay? Let's be honest. Even Van Dijk is like saying to himself, it's like we're conceding way too many easy goals, especially from set pieces. Okay? Again, starts with the manager and the planning to work on that. And I've been talking about this for weeks, about how they were kind of working on it. They didn't like it, so they just ignored it entirely. And now it's coming back to bite us in the ass. And I just don't know what to say. And the fact that, conceding way too many goals also comes from a defensive standpoint, which, lo and behold, I'm looking at you, Konate. I'm looking at you, you son of a bitch. You sack of crap. Get him off the fucking team already. Get Slot and Konate off the team. I can't take this anymore. I genuinely can't. It's bad. It's just so bad. And the fact that, but here's the thing that bothers me the most about Jamie Redknapp's comments here is that he's telling the organization, who's clearly in a shit position, to ignore it. Like, don't fire Slot. I mean, don't do anything, actually. Don't change what's wrong with the team at this point in time. Just stay patient. Things are going to blow over, right? Yeah, things are going to blow over. And my name isn't Jose Santos de Guatemala. It's not. And if you know, you know, by the way. But here's a couple of things I want to touch on, too, from Arne Slot in general. Some comments that he made over the course of the press conference after the match. Lo and behold, a man of very simple words calls the defeat very, 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 that's three veries, mind you, bad and unexpected, after Liverpool's strong first 30 minutes. Which, honest to God, outside of that one goal we conceded, we didn't play bad. For some reason, after halftime, it just collapsed. I don't know how to explain that, okay? Like, we all witnessed it in real time, and we all think to ourselves, how did we have such a strong first half outside of that one goal and just completely collapse? Not even remotely coming close to any chances for the most part. It's sickening, to be honest. Wants to talk about, let's talk about some of the selection issues he had and players out of position. First of all, he was forced to start a midfielder at right back due to injuries from both backs. Joe Gomez, I don't even know why he didn't put Joe Gomez in the game. I mean, Joe Gomez would have probably been the most natural defender to be put in that position, but for some reason he hasn't trained all week and I guess wasn't fit to start, which is odd because he's played almost little to no games all season, regardless of what competition we're a part of. I mean, I think the last time I saw him on the field was the Carabao Cup, to my knowledge. So how many weeks has he been out? That was like 4 or 5 weeks ago almost. And, well, here's the thing. Even when we were trailing 2-0, he avoids defensive substitutions, and it took forever to get Konate off, which for some reason replaced him with Edetike, which is beyond bizarre for me. So I don't really see what the point was. He also admits that switching to a 3-3-4 formation at 2-0 was a big risk. And Forest scored their third 2 seconds later. Direct quote from him. I've been saying this for a while, and it's almost like everything goes on deaf ears. Maybe we should have started the 3-3-4 to begin with. I don't know why we continue to try the same thing over and over again. A 4-3-2-1 just doesn't fucking work, or whatever it was, like a 4-2-3-1. I don't know. Whatever the fuck it is, it's not working. 3-3-4 was what we basically worked with a good portion of my time when I was starting to become a fan of Liverpool under Klopp. I don't know. I mean, granted, we had our problems with that too, but Klopp had his problems with, and I will say, Klopp had his problems with not switching tactics mid-match. Slot is just as bad, if not worse, at this point to me. I have no words for everything else here. It's just, I don't know. He whether or not they return the form, he obviously, Slot being the manager takes full responsibility, whether they lose or win. And he says Liverpool continued to dominate games and create chances, but I don't see that. I genuinely don't see what he's talking about. Yeah, we had a couple of good chances in the match, but after that McAllister attempt, I didn't really see much of anything that was really worth, going, oh my God, over. So I'm not really sure what Slot is watching here. It's actually astounding to think that he thinks that we're dominating games, because even if we are dominating possession-wise, it still doesn't matter that we're defensively collapsing off of counterattacks. So it's absolutely garbage. And the other problem is we're not able to score the first goal in the match. It's like every time we miss, or every time we get conceded on, and the other team scores their first goal, it's like playing catch up the whole time. And it's been like that for the last couple of years. And we've had some very good success at times with it, especially early on in the season. But at this point, this is unacceptable. Are we just going to keep conceding the first goal within the first 5 to 10 minutes of a match? Hell, even in the first half? I mean, it's bothersome at this point. He also says he constantly evaluates his decisions and is not doubting himself, which I have no idea how you wouldn't doubt yourself as a coach at this point, and I feel like this is all just trying to sound good for the media, but it's complete garbage in my opinion. At the end of the day, this is where my thoughts are with some of these comments he's making. He makes substitutions far too late, puts people in the wrong positions constantly. Like natural midfielders are playing defense, and midfielders midfielders are striking. Everybody's just out of whack. The strikers can't even get into the fucking penalty area to score. So, what good are they? It's something is just not clicking, and I genuinely don't know what it is at this point in time. I mean, nothing that at least we all don't know already, I should say. Unless there's some magic voodoo bullshit that's keeping us from being a good team with all this money and all these names. I mean, for Christ's sake, Semenyo and Mark Gahey can't save this team if we pick them up in the transfer window in January. I don't think they could even save this garbage. This is just bad. This is just awful. You want to know what's not bad, though? Shockingly enough, the Liverpool women's team. They had a really good win a couple days ago, 4-1 against Sheffield United in a League Cup group stage game. And, you know, Beta Olsen, man. Beta Olsen, she had a hat trick, bro. She's obviously been like the star player for this entire team over the course of the last couple games I've been keeping track of with them. And she's good, bro. I mean, they scored in the second minute. She scored again in the 42nd after that. So there was a long stretch of like no goals in between there. And even with Sheffield scoring a few minutes later, you know, after halftime, Olsen just, you know, kicks another one in and that's it. It's 3-1. And then 63rd minute, Mia Enderby, she caps it off with that 4-1 goal. And it's great. It's nice to see that some Liverpool players, whether it's men or women, aren't giving up. Okay? And I know Liverpool's women's team isn't that great right now. They've been struggling in their own right in the women's league, as I think they're at the bottom of the table. So they've had a really rough start to the season. But I think wins like this definitely have to give them some credit. So it makes me happy that, you know, clearly they have a star in Olsen, as she's the focal point of that offense. And they just got to keep pushing, man. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an expert on the women's team. I'm not. I don't get the chance to watch them as much as I would like to. But if they keep putting off victories like this, I mean, they can certainly teach the men a thing or two about scoring goals, because clearly Olsen's like prime Salah right now. So anyway, I'm hoping that the men turn this around. We have a Champions League game against PSV in a couple of days, and I'll be covering some of that before my little vacation for Thanksgiving here in America. But I appreciate you guys checking out this video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And please tell me what your thoughts are down below, because I'm genuinely curious to know if I'm just the only angry one here. Because if it's one thing I don't do is fake positivity, and this is absolutely miserable. So I hope you guys check out the next videos, and as always, even if it doesn't feel like it right now, you'll never walk alone.